Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And today we're going to do this one. Yesterday we did the more square album dies, and I flipped them around and we did a 4th of July card using them. But today we're going to use them for the purpose intended and to kill two birds with one stone. Somebody had asked to see how I coloured in my fairy stamp. So we're going to make the fairy stamp the feature on this, and instead of using Snap Click Supply, and don't forget today is One Buck Wednesday, so go and get your $1 packs there from Snap Click Supply. I'm going to be using American Crafts and Maggie Holmes Garden Party, which is a rather large pack, I can tell you now. But it was on special a few weeks ago, and I think I got 4 or 5 packs for like $10.99 or something, which was a really good deal. So make sure you check out American Crafts as well, because you know you've got Vicky Bootin and all kinds of packs that you can buy there, and of course the Maggie Holmes, which is what I'm going to use today. Right, I want to use the smallest one because I'm somebody who does quite like cute little books. And all I'm going to do today is the cover. Now the cover will be exactly the same as how you do your inner pages. You cut it, you decide which holes that you want to have into your book. It might be that you just want one hole and it can flip over just on one book ring. You can have the 3 positions going down, or you can have 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. I'm going to go for the 3, and I've got to pick it up to peel it off because Surprise Creation really does fix her dies down rather firmly. So I've got the 3 here, which I'm showing you cut side up here. I will put those through my die cutting machine, obviously with equal distance top and bottom, and run it through just like that. It's that simple. Just make sure you've got the correct distance. If you need to get a ruler and use a little bit of Sharpie so that you're not constantly measuring things out, and then use your double-sided tape to hold that piece. If you're running through lots and lots, then just go ahead and do that, and then use a little tiny bit of alcohol or hand sanitizer and wipe your Sharpie off afterwards. Right, this is the stamp in question, and we are going to be using some watercolor cardstock, which is how I like to do this, to color this stamp in. And if I put it down there, you can see she's a perfect fit. I'm going to sort of like finagle her in there so that she misses any of the holes. And getting back now to American Crafts digital cardstock, I've sized this to how I want to use it, and we're going to be using this sheet from Garden Party. That is going to be my cover. I've resized this to make the roses much smaller because that will be the dress on my fairy. And then for elements on the page, I've printed a rose which I'm going to fussy cut, and I'm going to replace my fairy's wings because I want a Maggie Holmesifier, if that is a word, and she's going to be replaced with the butterfly. So the butterfly wings are going to go behind my fairy, if I can find her again. Here we go. Because she comes with butterfly wings, and she's going to be replaced with those wings, which are only slightly larger. So I will be fussy cutting her out before I colour her. Right, so I am off to die cut and fussy cut, and I'll be right back. Right, so I've been away and I've cut that, and if I can get a close up here, you can see it's got a beautiful edge on it. And I used the 3-hole piece, and I'm hoping that I got that in the centre. I think that I did. So that's where you'd put your book rings, or you'd pop it into an even larger planner or something if that's what you wanted to do. I fussy cut my rose, and I've also cut the leaves down and made them smaller. The reason for that is because I kind of want my rose down here, but I want it to be able to fit in with the scheme of things without hanging off anywhere. So I just, you know, trim the leaves in a leaf shape with my scissors to make that fit. And I've also done the butterfly wings, chop the body of the butterfly off, because I want this to go behind my fairy. And if it doesn't kind of like span out enough behind my fairy, I'll just cut it in half and then, you know, manipulate it outwards and glue it to the back of her. But what I do want to do is I want to get a little bit of black on here. I'm not going to touch it too much because I don't want it, you know, too dark. And I'm just going to edge everything that I've cut here, so that it stands out a bit. Now, I do have a Brother Scan and Cut, and if you've got one, you know how wonderful they are, because if you want to cut your ephemera pieces, you can get a beautiful edge using your Brother Scan and Cut. Exactly the same as if you'd shop bought them, if you know what I mean. But mine is stupidly in storage, along with all of my rubber stamps, because I'm just trying to tidy up. But I may succumb actually and just go and get it out again. But there is the rose touched up, and now I'm just going to touch up my butterfly wings, and then we're going to get the squiffy mat out, and we're going to stamp the fairy. Right, so they've got some definition. If I put them on the paler background, you'll be able to see. Right, so that's the first part of our little album cover. Right, I'm just going to get my scruffy mat and I'll be straight back. Okay, so scruffy mat down, and I've got myself a piece of kitchen paper. I'm going to use two Tombow markers, a 910 and a 761, to colour my fairy in. Those are the two colours that I'm using. I've got a little piece of watercolour cardstock. This is the watercolour cardstock from Walmart, which is absolutely fantastic. If you see it, get it. It's like 300 GSM. It's extremely thick, and it's just fantastic for crafting. And I'm also using a watercolour brush if I need to. Now, the ink that I'm using is Archival, and that's the Ranger Archival Black Soot. And I'm using a stamp block today, so I'm going to use this one. And Elena Craft sent me this, and I'm also going to be stamping onto this sheet of paper and showing you exactly what I get up to there. Right, so first of all, I'm going to put the stamp onto the block. And I'm pretty sure she fits on here. There we go. And it doesn't matter whether I stamp straight, because I'm going to cut her out. And this is my all-time favourite fairy stamp. If I could put her on everything, I would. Trust me. But I'm making sure there's plenty of ink there, because watercolour cardstock is textured. I'm just going to get her down there and give it a squeeze. Make sure that she's stamped evenly. And as I was saying, watercolour cardstock being textured, you don't always get an absolute crisp print, because you kind of like got those ups and downs in the grain of the paper. So there she is, and you know, I can see what that looks like, and I can do whatever there. And she's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at her. She's just so sweet. Right, and then the next thing I want to stamp on is this, because from this I fussy cut her out, and the only piece that I want is the dress. That can give your stamp a lot of definition when you use pattern papers with them. And as I say, you know, a lady said to me a couple of weeks ago when I did that tag, which I think I've still got on my desk actually. I'm going to go there, I think. And she said it looked like a piece of ephemera. And I think the reason for that is because I'm using pattern cardstock for the dress. So, well, actually, here's the tag. That's the tag that I did. And as you can see, she's got pattern paper as the dress there. I love this tag. I mean, I got all sorts. I'm going to show you my little collection one day of all sorts of stuff that I stuff up in envelopes and everything. Right, so we've got this one, which is going to be coloured, and when she's cut out, I'm going to chop those wings off because she's going to be having these. As I said, we're going to Maggie Holmes her, and you know, you got a little bit kind of like out there, but in general, I think that's a nice size to go behind her. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to fussy cut this dress out, and I'll be right back. Little dress is cut out, which is really cute, and just a little bit of outliner again to give it just a little bit of depth. So just touching it with black soot, not wanting to make it too grungy, but not to worry if it ends up that way. And as you can see, once I've fussy cut this image out, the little dress is going to slot straight on top there. So, you know, whatever pattern you decide to choose, like on my tag here, I'd use the red pattern paper, which I think was basic grey. So there she's in a little pink rose dress now. So I just think that's really sweet. And of course it ties in with the pinks that are in the wings. Right, so moving that out of the way now, and we need to concentrate on the fairy. So I know that I don't have to colour the wings in, so I'm just going to go straight in here, and I'm going to use this shade, which is 910. I don't actually think it's given a colour. I don't think Tombow do that. And I'm just going to go straight in here and kind of see what happens. Put all your shadows and stuff in afterwards. Maybe you can see that. I think this is probably one of their most popular selling pens, because if you're looking to create Caucasian flesh is what I'm going to call it, then it's one of the easiest ways to do it. And I'm going to go in there. I don't know what colour actually that I'm going to do her hair. I'm trying to avoid the eyes. And of course, one of the things you also need to know is that if you go over and over in an area, it can end up much darker. Now, obviously, you use that to your benefit for where you think shadows are going to be. Like on this side of the face, for example, would definitely be in shadow, and under the neck there. And also, there's going to be a little bit of shadow cast under the arms, and of course the knees, the legs here on the inside. And I think these are called knickerbockers or bloomers, I'm not sure, but you'd have shadow cast there as well. But you see how quick and simple that was. I do love Tombow watercolour markers. And I've also got a pink, and pink is a great one just for adding a little bit of colour to the lips and also to the cheek area. And it doesn't bother me that it looks blotchy. I kind of like that. Very kind of mixed media-ish. And I think I'm going to go and get a brown pen to do a hair, because I quite like brown hair. Well, I'll be straight back. Right, so this one is 912, and I'm just going to go right in there. Now she does have a bow on her head, and in the Maggie Holmes pack actually there are lots of bows, and you could actually shrink one down and put that into her hair if you wanted to. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of pink, which may not be, you know, totally visible, but I think that's all right. Now the socks are a great cheat because you can just leave those white, and you can keep the knicker area white, the bloomers, pantaloons, whatever it is you want to call them. So once you've got the dress on there, you can kind of see what I mean. It's just a great contrast. And if I position that, I may need to go a little bit lower down on the neckline, I think, with this one, just to make sure. I'll do a little bit around the sleeve too, just in case. All right. I'm quite happy with that. I might actually do her eyes. Hang on just a second. Right, I've got a 451. And if I can see it correctly, all I need to do is just touch that down very slightly there. That's just a little bit more detail into the eyes. Right, I'm going to fussy cut this and I will be right back. And there she is, all cut out. I can see I've got a little bit of white there, so I'm just going to go in with my pink again and touch her up. And I want to go around the edges again with a little bit of black. Just going to grunge her up slightly. And of course, here's something that I've done that I've just noticed. Look, I didn't cut between her legs, so I need to do that. Touch up around her hair. Just gives a nice little bit of definition. Right, where's my scissors? Let's do that now. And I'll go over to there. That's better. And then I'm going to track from this side to her socks and then into there. So you can see it's a really easy one to fussy cut. And I love the messy watercolour on her, if you know what I mean. I just think it's really sweet. Right, now, first up, we're going to glue on that dress. So we need her fingers to be visible. And I will tell you, watercolour cardstock is another one that the Dollar Tree glue dries to quite quickly. So we're going to get this on and position it, hopefully in the correct place. I think that's right. If not, I'll lift it up towards me and just push it a little bit. So she's got her lovely pink dress on with her little roses. And then I need to have a look and see how these butterfly wings sit behind her. See if I think that, you know, those are kind of sweet, aren't they? If they should go higher up. Yeah, kind of like that with her head buried in there just a little bit. So we just need to put a little bit of glue in that area where there was once a butterfly's body. And I'm going to position her on. I'm going to go there. Yeah, I like that. She's going to be popped up on some foam pads in a second. So that's stuck down. So now we have Maggie Holmes to our little fairy girl. And I think she looks really cute. I'm going to pop her there. And then really quick for this is just going to be glued down flat. Get any bits off there. And then I'm going to go in search of my book rings in a second. So as I say, I haven't made a full book, just the cover, but your pages inside would be exactly the same. Just decorate them up, make sure your holes are all in the right places, and have fun. Right, that is within all of the borders. And as I said, you know, the leaves were twice the size of that, so they have been cropped. Right, I'm just going to put some foam behind her and I'll be back. Right, so there she is with all her foam pads on the back, and you can see I've got a little bit in the legs, and I do kind of like tend to overdo it with foam pads. And I found my book rings. These are also on AliExpress, and the ones that I've chosen to use are, it's kind of Pepto-Bismol pink or flamingo pink, and I've already opened them up, but you know, you'd kind of have to pretend that I've cut myself a bunch of pages there, even though I've only just done a cover. And I'm just going to peel these off now. Get the sticky bit. There we go. A bit more careful with the legs, I think. I don't want to bend them. And she's going to go over that rose. And about there, I think. Maybe there. There. So that's a really quick cover or a really quick page. If my camera is blurred, I do apologise. But we have Maggie Holmes the Fairy. We've cut this out, and I am going to be back tomorrow. I'll just put these in just to show you. Just pretend I've cut a bunch of pages. And tomorrow we're going to be doing the flowers and those roll-up flowers, and I'm going to be showing you how to use this die again, this time to make a flower shop front. So, you know, I don't like dies where I can only use them for one purpose. I like to get my money's worth. So just imagine I've got a load of pages there, and there she is. I thank you so much for joining me today. As usual, all links below. Have an awesome day. Bye.